Hey, welcome back to Rob's Garage Woodworking. Today I'm going to show you how I built this Ikea Pax closet organizer. Because this is such a small room, it's going to make a huge improvement. So I use sliding doors on these, and that way they don't open into the room. Oh, and they're soft close doors as well. I have used the two Pax wardrobes, Komplement drawers. I used 8 of those. And the drawers are also soft close. Yeah, so I've chosen this particular layout for his closet. Now, this will eliminate the need for a dresser, so it just brings a lot more space into this room, makes it clean and organized. So you can do a lot of different things with these. You can design it different ways with shelves. You go to Ikea, go online, go to Design Planner, and Pax wardrobe, and then there's a bunch of different types of wardrobes, so you can choose what you want. Anyway, so this one as it stands is about $1,300. I'm also going to show you, this one is going to go into our bedroom, so it's going to look like this. And this is the kit that you get basically, so it looks like with the doors on it. And then it gives you a product breakdown and the location with the Ikea closest to you, or whatever one that you choose, and it tells you where they are and everything. Okay, the product list, the pick list, it has everything all together. It's really a great idea. Super easy to do, and I fit this in a CRV, by the way. Alright, to make your complement drawer, you will need a slotted screwdriver, straight screwdriver. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver, like a number 2 Phillips, and I would suggest a rubber mallet. You can use a hammer if you want, but there's some plastic parts that you could tap together, which is nicer with a rubber mallet. Alright, so this is the complement drawer from Ikea. So here we go. We have the parts, we have the bottom of the drawer, and we have some very nice looking soft close drawer glides. We've got sides, front and back. We've got the complement instructions. Got our variety pack of hardware. Let's dump that out. So the only one that has 3 holes in it per side is this guy right here. So it has 1, 2, 3, and then the spot for the drawer bottom. So what we're going to do is put these all the way in. Now notice how I don't over tighten these. Okay. Start them straight. You're going to have to hold this in position. You put these 2 in. Make sure they're down all the way. Okay. Make sure they're flush back there. You see how that's flush with the wood? There are 2 dowel pins. Put the dowel pins in. You can tap it down with your screwdriver if you have to. White. Put this in. Try to center it as best you can. Take your sides. Have the big holes. The big holes go down here. Okay, there's the 2. Slide this in. So that's the other side. This is the side for here. So you can grab this, slide this in, slide it into the whole thing. Okay. Do the other side. You have these locking pieces, so they will sit like this. Okay. Push these in over the top. They should fit all the way in, flush. Okay. So push down on the side, turn that in until it locks all the way. I'll do this side. And then press down on it, turn with your screwdriver. Your top piece has these holes in the end, and this fits down like this. And then these plastic pieces, these guys right here, just get pushed in. So you gotta line it up. So I would suggest starting all these first. So put them in by hand first. Okay. Make sure you line them up with the holes. And then once they're lined up, you can tap them in. So this is the PAX cabinet. All right. According to this, there are two holes. It goes in the front hole of the bracket, and the bracket sits to the back edge, which, see how this has got this relief cut in it? So we have this third hole. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 holes down. The front two holes fits like that, and we put in 2 screws. So we've got that guy there, and this one for this side. I'm going to use a drill instead of a screwdriver. Start them by hand first, and then tighten them all the way. And we want to make these snug, but you don't want to over tighten them because it's press board, so it will chip out easily. So remember, the front hole, that's what they're asking for. So start it, start the other one all the way in, okay, until it's snug. We have to put these guys in here, and these use the cam lock bolts. So it gets one here. So once again, you can do this with a screwdriver. I'm going to use a drill because I do everything like this. Means this guy here. 1, 2. We're going to go to the very top. Tighten that in. So there's 3 here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3 up. Okay. 1, 2, 3 up. Third hole up. And this long row here. So each one of those ones are on a row, okay? And then this one is the third one on the row. Again with the other side, 3 up. Both sides at the same time. 1, 2, 3. I don't think this will take very long to put together at all, actually. Okay, they're referencing this cut edge that has the little relief cut there, little dado cut there, or rabbit, I suppose. And what do they want us to do with that? The one with the rabbit cut is facing down. So, facing down. Let's grab the other one. rabbet cut. It's like this. So we're going to have this back here. So we're going to put these in. 1, 2. And I'm just going to tap those in with the rubber mallet. Okay. Flip it around to the other side. You're going to flip the same board around. Install 2 there as well. Once again, with the rubber mallet, we're just going to tap them in. Okay, like so. Both these are the top and bottom plates. You make them the same way. Grab 4 dowel pins. These are the dowel pins. Okay, like this. 1, 2. Tap them in. Again to the other side. 2 pins. Tap them in. It asks for these 2 threaded pieces here. What are they? These ones. This part fits in the hole. So we have a claw hammer. Make sure that's all the way in. So we have this weird threaded rod here. Put the threaded rod in. Put the cap on here. So that snaps in. You'll hear it click. Okay, when I put that foot in, it clicked. 2 wooden dowels. Put these guys in. And then we're gonna tap them in. Okay. Both ends like that. Tap them in. And the back one, you see how the back one is just like natural color? That's how you know it goes to the back. And it gets 4 as well, 2 in each end. Tap them in. There is 4 holes here, but 3 big holes. Those 3 big holes are for, see them? Got that weird, and it just hooks around. It hooks around these guys here, these pins. So, with the 3 holes, they're going to go right over top of those, and they're going to fit. The dowels are going to squeeze into place. Just tap that in. We're going to use your Phillips bit screwdriver. This is going to push in here. Right? And then you're going to turn that clockwise, tighten it. Same with this one. Fit it in. Push in and turn it clockwise to tighten it. Lock it in place. And this one, once again, put it in. Push in. Turn it clockwise until it locks in place. There you go, all locked in place. The bracket is on that side, and the feet have to go to the opposite side. So these are my feet, which go on the bottom. So the feet go on the bottom, and the feet are on this side, not on the bracket side. So let's slide this over, and we will line all those up once again. Put these in. Once again, push them in and tighten them. Okay. 1, 2. Okay, side of the table, so that it will stand at least halfway. Alright, we are going to line it up so all the back parts go together. Okay, just going to start this side lined up. That's for these guys, so let's set that there. And this is the nice side that goes on the front. So we are going to install this, line it up, push this in on this side, and go ahead and push the bottom in. So that locks. Now we're going to do the top after. So slide that in, and then push this in at the top. Ooh, bottom's coming out. Whew. Let's that one in. I put these locks in. You see this bracket and this bracket, they're both on the back. The relief cuts on the back. Alright. Lock all these in. Okay. The backboard goes on. Remember, the white side goes down. So these holes here, that has to line up these brackets here. And that is so that you can mount it against the back wall, which I'm not doing. I'm going to mount mine to the sides. I'm not mounting mine to the back. But I still have to show you the proper way of doing it. And we are going to nail these in. So it has this cute little nail holder. Okay, this is what it's for. Put the nails in. You put it in the nail holder. See how that works. Okay, I'll pull that out. Finish the nail. Well, I'm going to try going 6 inches at a time here. Be my method. As you can see down here on the floor, not only is the floor not flat because we've got a high spot over there, but because of that high spot, there is a 1/2 inch difference in height from the high spot to this low spot. So we have to shim. So I've got some shims here. Got some 1/2 inch shims, some 1/4 inch shims. So in order for this to be level, we get our smaller level in here. We're gonna have to lift this side up. So in the front, there actually has some adjustable legs for it that you can adjust, but the back doesn't have that, which is a really crappy oversight in my opinion. We're gonna have to shim the back and get that set up so that we can get this as even as possible. And it goes one board width. So we're going to tack the shims in place. I put this on a towel so it's easier to move without scratching the floor. The doors are going to fit flush to the front. So instead of trying to trim this out a different way, I'm just going to use trim and I'm going to butt it up against, And I'm just going to make the reveal the same amount all the way along. So as you can see here, this is not plumb. I have to level this out, lean it back to get it the right height, and then I will shim it into the side here. So I'll make sure that it's level and plumb, that I get the right reveal, right thickness to this, and then I will tack it in place. Alright, so there's adjustable screws here and here for the front to raise this up. So we want to make it level this way, and we want to make it level back to front. So I've adjusted this corner first, leveled it this way, and then I've adjusted this corner to level it this way. And so back to front we are good, and side to side we are good. We also have to make sure that this is plumb, and it's not quite plumb, so it's got to be pulled in here. So get some shims, and we'll tack that in place. So first, I'll put shim down on the bottom, and I'll trim that off after. I gotta nail through the shim. I got this whole pile of shims here. Put that up, nailed it in place, right? Make sure it's plumb. Now, as you can see down at the bottom, that stud is not straight. It's not plumb. So don't assume that your floor is going to be straight and level. Don't assume that your walls are going to be level and plumb, okay? Same with everything in your house. It's probably off a bit. That's why they call that rough carpentry, and this is trim carpentry. Trim carpentry is a little bit different. All right, so just like the first cabinet, we balance this one. We raise this up to match at the top to make sure that that matches the height. Then we checked it for level, did all our leveling. We shimmed it in to the wall, and we clamped it here. Clamped it at the bottom and at the top just to pull it tight. And then we shimmed it, right? Now we have to drill a hole through the holes here, 13/64, I think. It's the same size as this hole, a little bit bigger than the hole, to fit this hardware in. And this hardware is to clamp the two together. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes up and 5 holes down from the top. We have to do this. So it's this guy here. It's like a sleeve. And then there's a screw, a corresponding screw goes into it, and it screws in like that. I'll show you at the top, I guess, because it's easier to see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, straight across. We're going to drill through. We're going to insert this. Which one was that? Put that all the way in, and put the screw in from the other side, and we just tighten these up together. This is going to go in holes 5 and 6 from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is your first one, and 6 is the second one. Rod holder. This part goes to the front. These screw holes go to the back. Okay, so put one in loosely, start the other one. Okay, you see that? And after, right, you just want these to be snug so you don't strip them. Just snug, okay? Because there's a hole in the pipe, and that hole corresponds to the tab here. So what you want to do is find where your tab is. So you'll push that in place and then lock it in with the tab, right? So turn it until the tab locks in. We know the tabs are facing me, so we will pull towards me with the tabs like this. And it's not wide enough. There we go. There we and it clicks in place and it locks in place. So this is what you get. These are a couple of sliders to make sure your doors don't rub. This piece right here is a dust cap that goes over top of the door that sticks out furthest. This weather stripping looking stuff here goes on the door that sticks out the furthest. That's like a sweeper. And then both doors by the frame get this, which I'll show you after. And that's like again, it's more like a sweeper sort of thing that, you know, the door doesn't rub and stuff, and it kind of keeps the dust out. So it's like a weather stripping. Then we have, this one is the top rail that you put your doors on, okay? And I'll show that one in action. And this one is the bottom. This goes in the bottom. That you put the doors in that. And then we have, these are your door handles right here. There's two of them, and they have the little holes inside here. And yeah, it doesn't really explain what any of the stuff is. And then this is like a dust cap for the outside of the largest door. Okay, so yeah, anyway. And then we have the hardware. So the smaller hardware goes to the inside door. See how it doesn't stick out as far. So that goes to the inside door, and here's the bottom for the inside door. And then for the outside door, the one that sticks out further, here's the hardware for that. So your inside door will run like this inside, and the outside door will be over top like that. Okay, and that's the same with the bottom. So your bottom hardware will go like this. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do the short door hardware, and we've got these ones here. That goes here. We'll do the bottom. Start with the bottom, and then we'll do the top as well. These doors are identical, top and bottom. These are the screws for the hardware, the big ones here. Okay. Alright, so we're going to center these as much as possible. So, okay. I'm going to put these in kind of lightly at first. And then tighten them after. So I want to center that. So center the line there. We're just going to center it as much as possible. This is your cam adjust. Okay. Allen key. And you'll use your Allen key to adjust the height of this after. So we'll set that in there. We'll tighten this up gently, not fully tighten, but snug it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we have the bottom slider mounts here. Put them on. I'll start that. Put this one in. I'm going to center this. Tighten those two up. And put my third one on, tighten that up. And these are just snug. We're going to snug them up. Okay, so these are the slide mounts for the top. Once again, the cam goes into the hole. Now these ones stick out further than the frame. Okay, you'll notice that's different. These ones are a lot closer to the frame. These ones stick out further to clear the other door. So, once again, I'm going to start with that. And put the next one in. I'm going to center it and tighten it down a little bit, just snug it down. And back to this one, snug it. And over here, snug it. There we go. And don't forget both of those on the top. So this is the inside door here. This gets the inside door hardware, the weather strip on one side, and that's all it gets. Along this edge here, it gets this seal. It's like a plastic seal, like weather stripping. And the tape goes along this edge. Peel your tape back. We'll set that corner right here. So right up against the edge. And then press that in. Peel the tape back. And put that right along the edge. There's a line that you follow. Alright. Once this is on, this goes to the inside. So these stick out quite a bit. And it lines up like this. So right like that. And line up the holes. Okay. So we've got the weather stripping, sliding felt, right? Over here, we have the sliding felt. Then we have this piece of trim on the side. The piece of trim has the weather stripping, has the rubber weather stripping along it. Okay, so that's what the outside of it looks like. The back side. Okay, and then this is the lower part. This is the center. This is the center of the door with some more of the felt sliding material. Yeah, or these shallow wheels, right? They're closer to the door. They go on the lower rail. The weather stripping here goes to this side, so we'll flip the door around. Leave the bottom. Goes to the top one there. So you put the door on an angle and then just kind of drop it in place. There we go. Alright. You'll see the plastic part goes underneath the rail. The wheel sits on top. And then once it's on, it moves kind of smoothly at the top. So this one here goes right where that is. Okay. See how that lines up? We're just gonna push it in. Line this one up and push it in. There we go. Wow. So now what we want to do, straighten the door out. So we are going to use the cam locks on the door, and they are in behind. Straighten that out and then tighten the screws. So on the top of the door, this wheel assembly sticks out further than the inside door. So this is the outside door. It has the weather strip on this side, which will be in the middle, okay? And then it has the rubber weather strip and the aluminum dust cover on the other side. Pull it out, and the wheels are going to go on the top of the rail. So let's see if we can do that here. And once the door starts sliding, that means it's in place. Let's see. Down at the bottom, we are going to line this up here with this piece. And once it's lined up, press it in. You slide it over, pull it out, slide it over until it's here, so you feel it lock in, click it in. So this is your Allen key for your cam lock. There's this right here, and you would adjust this by turning it this way or this way to go up or down, and then you tighten these 3 screws after. This is your cam lock right here. You'd put this Allen key in, you crank it one way or the other. I've got it adjusted to where I want it, but on this side you can't put the screws in on the outside door because the door is in the way. So I've got to adjust it, or I have to tighten it here, make sure that that's all good. Okay, then hang it back up again. So double check that the door is plumb. Okay. Alright, so the doors are in. They soft close. These metal pieces, move this over. These will fit along here and close the gap on your door. Well, part of it, you still see where the weather stripping is. It has this little piece in the back. The long piece goes to the outside. And the holes, they don't have any holes here at all. So we'll set this on. It goes all the way to the bottom. It's like flush to the top, flush to the bottom. And then you have to use an awl, okay? And you have to lay out where the holes are. So center this, and push in to start your holes. So you're to have a hole so that the screw will go in easily. I'll put this up. Alright, so this gray piece here, it has tape underneath it. It sits on top of the door, and you just peel the tape off and press it in place here on top of the door. Make sure this end is covering that, and this end covers that side. Okay? Alright, to put the shelf brackets in, there's a right and a left, so you have the right ones. You use this hole here and this hole here. Okay, so the top ones, the front ones, line them up. Now, it's not the first hole, it's the second hole. So you line them up like this and put it in. Or these Phillips screws are not really the right size for any bit. So use a magnetic bit. If you don't, you will probably freak out and break a whole bunch of stuff because it's really aggravating. So I start like this, line it up with the second hole. Oops, second hole, not third hole. Start it, but leave it out a little bit because we have to lift up the back, and it's easier if it's loose. So let's move over a little bit here. Lift up the back, line that up. Shoot that. And we're just going to hand tighten these in because you don't want to over tighten them. If you strip them, then you're going to have to drill other holes, and it's a pain in the butt. So the way the drawer slides fit in, there's a hole back here. The back of the drawer slide fits in that hole, just like this, right? So there's 2 holes in the front. So you open your drawer slide, and it's hooked in the back, right? And then it lines up here. So it lines up here. So this tab goes in the hole. So before you put the tab in the hole, you take this metal piece. You put it on here, put the tab in the hole, push this all the way in, and then after you do that, you push this in. Now, do you do that before you install the drawer? No. Alright, so here we are in our back looking up at the drawer. So what we're going to do is we're going to line that up like that. And we're going to go over to this one. And this one's going to be lined up as well. So now, this has to go inside. So I'm going to lift that up. Alright, so I got that lined up in the hole. Bring this over. Now this has got to be fully set. So what you want to do is you want to squeeze this all the way up. So, use two hands, you'll push that all the way in. So there we go. Now, you have to take this, you have to stick it in here. So you push that all the way up. So, once again, I need two hands. Now, once it's all the way up, you just turn it like this. It goes over top of that tab. And that's supposed to lock your drawer in place. Supposed to. Once again, you get a matching pair of a left and a right. I set it on top of the drawer like this. I just set it here. Now, you're not going to use that screw, that hole. You're going to use the one above it. So it's going to be this one. There's going to be a gap between the drawers. So, once again, lift this up. Line that up. Shoot your screws. Remember, the back hole goes to the end of the slides, so we're just going to set this on the slides. Push it into the holes. Okay. Once that's in, then we do the bottom. So the drawers themselves are 26 and 5/8, and they are 21 inches deep. So your total inside dimensions 25 and a half by 21. So these are 2XL shirts. These are my shirts that I put in here for show. So you can squeeze 6 piles of shirts in here, and they're a little tight at 2XL. But if you were to put 4 piles, see how much space is there? Like, look at all the gaps in between. Anyway, final thoughts. It was relatively easy to assemble. The instructions could have been a little bit better. I can see why people don't like using the IKEA stuff. There's nothing written down. The diagrams aren't bad, but you will have to kind of double check everything and look at everything. Lego. Remember Lego as a kid? They had these great exploded diagrams and they were super easy to follow. If Lego was to make IKEA instructions, it would be a lot easier. Like, the IKEA instructions aren't bad, they're just not as good as they could be. So yeah, a couple of things about this. Because I've got sliding doors, they don't have handles, and you can't put handles on them just from the design. They do have swing out doors, and they come with handles, but because this is a small room, I don't want the doors to swing out because it just takes up space. The drawers themselves, they're not super strong, so they're not as strong as like a good solid dresser. And if you have little kids might want to step on these and climb up, and this probably isn't really good for little kids because you don't want them climbing up and breaking the drawers. The drawers aren't that strong. Understand, when I say this, parents will understand. People. So yeah, am I happy with this product? Oh yes, I am very happy with the product. It went together well. I didn't really have any hang-ups. I didn't really have any issues. I like the way it looks. I like how clean and tidy it is. And my son is going to love it because his whole room is going to be super organized, and he's going to have lots of room for all his clothes and school supplies and other things. All right, so that's it. That's the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel quite a bit. If you like this type of content, also please subscribe, which also helps the channel quite a bit. And thank you very much for watching. Cheers.